What up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? What's going on? Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Please hit that like button. Shout out to my new subscribers. I really do appreciate you, okay, for giving me the chance and opportunity. I got my new laptop today, and I realized when I use my laptop, the problem is my internet. That's been the whole problem. Every time I go live on the computer, that's what it is. So it seemed to work better on my phone, but I had so much information on my phone. So I done moved my Wi-Fi router so many times and it's still acting up. What are y'all looking at? Max, what are you doing? Anyway, so like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. We gonna get right into this with Zohran Mamdani. Honey, listen. He already destroying New York because he can't, all the promises he said, free health care, free daycare. He don't care if it's undocumented, illegal aliens. They don't ask the immigration status. Everything gonna be free. The bus is free, everything. Come to find out he can't do none of it. None of it. And about it's up to 16 people that done passed away during the shelter. He already fell in. He cannot do any of this. And his mama in the Epstein files. His mama is in the Epstein files. He come from a privileged background. He ain't come from no ghetto and all. Man, listen, the people, they already out there picketing at the mansion about his mama, but y'all voted for him. Y'all voted for him. He ain't been a U.S. citizen, but for 8 years. The fuck? What did you think he was gonna do? Just because he said everything free, y'all thought that was it, huh? Damn, where's my, oh shit, my other, oh shit. This is my, because I destroyed my other computer. This is my, shoot, my flash drive. I need that. Let's see if some people come up in the room. Maybe they not. But anyway, let's get off into it. So his mama in the Epstein file. I don't know what y'all think this means. How the hell do he even know the Constitution? He ain't been a citizen but 8 years. So the name of Mara Nar, mother of New York City Mayor Mamdani, appears in emails in the newly released Epstein files. Indian filmmaker Myra Nora had attended an after party for a film at the townhouse of convicted trafficker Giselle Maxwell, according to the latest Epstein files. Miss Nora, the mother of New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani, is mentioned in one of the emails as part of additional files of investigations related to Jeffrey Epstein. Just left Giselle's townhouse after party for a film. Bill Clinton and Jeff Bezos were there. Gene Pajotti, director Mara Mara film received reaction, tepid reaction, although women like it much more. Hillary Swank in gear at stupid party in Bloomingdale's cheap sportswear department. Very weird. Studio went for free. Oh shit, I don't know what's going on. Studio went for free party from store and windows for a month. Going to be in Wall Street tomorrow. More to come. XOXO Pig. An email dated October 21st, 2009 at 5:37 a.m. by American journalist Peggy Siegel. While the email does not mention the film's name, it appears to be the 2009 film Amelia, directed by Miss Nar and based on the life of Amelia Earhart, who disappeared over the Pacific Ocean in 1937. On Friday, the Department of Justice published over 3 million additional pages of the Epstein files under the Epstein Files Transparency Act, which was signed into law by Donald Trump November 19th, 2025. More than 2,000 videos and 1,800,000 images are included in the additional publication. Combined with prior releases, this makes the total 3.5 million pages. I'm just trying to see, can y'all hear me? Let me see. Okay. The newly released files were collected from 5 sources, including Florida and New York cases against Epstein, the New York case against Maxwell, the New York cases investigating Epstein's death. He ain't dead. The Florida case investigating former butler of Epstein, multiple FBI investigations, and the Office of Inspector General into his investigation. His mama in there. So they was picketing and marching against at the mayor's mansion against him today. He ain't seen that. He ain't seen nothing. He ain't nothing good gonna come from that man. So Mamdani announces new shelter beds as death toll during the cold rises to 14. So 14 people have died from being homeless in the bed. I can't stand New York. So now 14 people have died. So people was heckling Mamdani after his mother appeared in the files. And they were saying, "You lied to us. You lied to us." That's all they do is lie. He ain't never had a real job. This is his first real job. He was an actor, and he acted his way through the whole shebang. And y'all stupid ass voted for him. So he faced protests outside of Gracie Mansion on Sunday. Videos show residents shouting shame and confronting the mayor about the emails. One poster said, "We voted for you. You lied to us. That's what y'all get. You ain't seen shit yet." New Yorkers are developing buyer's remorse for Zohran Mamdani, spotted heckling, yelling shame and "you lied to us." Okay, I'm not gonna read that. Mamdani names jail reformer Stanley Richards to steer the chaotic Rikers complex. Good luck to that, because Rikers Island been a mess for years. This is a black guy too. He named Stanley Richards to lead the Department of Corrections at a press conference Saturday afternoon. The move puts Richards in charge of the Rikers Island jails, where he once served 2.5 years on robbery in the 80s. Stanley would make history in this role as the first even formerly incarcerated person to serve as commissioner. That achievement is not merely symbolic, it is a testament to the thought leadership he will bring to every member of corrections staff and incarcerated New Yorkers under his review. Richards was convicted of robbery and spent an additional 4.5 years in state prison before his release in 91. After his release, Richards landed a job as a counselor at Fortune Society, an organization that provides housing and resettlement services for incarcerated New Yorkers. Hey, how? Oh, I just got a crook in my neck. Richard said he will start a path of hope and reform in his new role. The future of Rikers is not endless confinement, scapegoating, or demonizing. It is safety, transformation, and rehabilitation. But Richard's inheriting a jail system. It is because Riker Island is awful. You hear me? It is absolutely awful. The jail's been plagued by staff misconduct, violence, drug overdoses. 76 people died in custody between 2019 and 2025, including 15 last year. And a plan to close the facility and replace it with smaller borough-based facilities has stalled in the face of the rising jail population and political resistance. They employ 7,200 people, including 5,000 uniformed officers. I didn't know that. So, well, good luck on your job. So his first 100 days, let's see, he imported this food. Yasmina Mata, advocate for immigrants and veterans as commissioner, New York City Department of Veterans Services. Sandra Davis, a longtime social worker as commissioner of New York City Department of Youth and Development. Bida Moringa, civil rights lawyer as commissioner of New York City Office of Administrative Trials. New York is built on that unseen work of public servants who show up every day to care for our neighbors. I can't stand that man. Y'all couldn't see that he was a con artist. Y'all couldn't see that shit. You can't make New York affordable shit. Oh, they talking about how he can't even get the street show. He don't know what the fuck he doing. So this from the New York Post. Deborah Messi slams Mamdani for dangerous New York gridlock mess after snowstorm. As snow remains piled up on the streets a full week after the winter storm passed, and said that Mayor Mamdani is to blame. He don't even know how to clean the damn snow off the streets. Michael Rappaport, I can't stand him. Y'all remember him in Higher Learning? I can't stand him either, but shit, he pissed off at Mamdani. Okay, I'm not even gonna read that. That ain't worth reading. So now they talking about is the mayor of New York the illegitimate son of pedophile Epstein. They going in on him since his mama's in the files. Yeah, he gonna be awful. He can't even get up the snow. He gonna be awful. Now we going into the recap part. Oh shit. Damn, I just had this. Damn. Damn, I just had this up. I took too long. That's probably what it was. So now y'all gonna have to just bear with me. Cause now I got to find this old ass article again. Damn. So now this is the recap out. Disaster. White House response to Zohran Mamdani. Trump's administration mispronunciation of his name in an online video. The House Secretary referred to him as Zandani and a known communist. Well, he is. Following his resounding Democratic primary victory. Hey, do I see? Oh, I do. Okay, I can't because I'm on my phone. Okay, has drawn significant attention online and drawn pushback from conservative and moderate leaders. Trump absolutely does not want to see Mamdani elected. We know that, so I'm not even going to get more into that. Bernie Sanders was trying to step away, but he did do his what you call it, his swearing in on the Quran. Okay, now we're going to August 17th. I just need to get this stuff out my phone. Okay, let me see. Man, y'all see that stuff in that Epstein stuff? Oh, it's coming. Man, I can't wait to get on it. They saying Big Meech's party did not go, was his Rick Ross didn't show up. They saying it was not, and I guess the strippers there was not good. And I mean, wasn't nobody making no money. He just have to realize that this not like when you went in, Meech. Oh, I gotta finish register because my computer came and it's tripping. All right, well, we won't do that. All right, let me see if I got, let me look for this. I ain't see nothing on that. It might be in that other phone. Oh well, I can delete this because he already won. They didn't think that man was gonna win, and then we gonna get into these videos. They ain't think that man was. I did not think he was gonna win. I was like, who? And he ain't never had a job, so how is he gonna run the world's large financial capital of the world and the biggest city in America? Well, he fell and he can't even pick up the snow. And the people was pissed. 14 people from died from being in the cold. Yeah, he ain't gonna. Yeah, he ain't. I don't think he gonna last at all. I really don't. I still got a lot of shit on Serena Williams. Okay, let me check this last article, and then we done, and we about to get into the video portion. Let me check this out. Give me a minute. Yeah, I'll talk about that later. Damn, I shouldn't have. All right, let's get into these videos, y'all. What up? All right, let's get into that. Mandawi. Mandammy. Where is you at? You should be at, oh, right here at the top. Here we go.
New York City is already in huge trouble. It's been in huge trouble for a very long time. But with Zohran Mamdani, everything could potentially change and shift very left. But tonight, something incredible happened. As we keep track of the records.
This is Live Nation. I love him. I love him. He's a smart young man.
Everything seems to have taken a turn for the worse in his career. He actually got lectured today on how the mayor actually produces results versus a governor. I don't think he knew the difference.
Right.
I know an outsider because I know an outsider when I see one. And it's very clear that New Yorkers are starting to see that Zohran Mamdani isn't a freaking New Yorker.
Right.
Flewa is. Cuomo, I don't like him. I remember him. I remember what he did when I was living there. But even he had to lecture Zohran Mamdani as he is humiliated in front of millions of people during this final debate for New York City mayor. Take a listen.
I understand my friend doesn't really understand government. The governor doesn't build housing in New York City. No, legally, there are jurisdictions. The governor doesn't pick up trash. He doesn't run the fire department. That's what the mayor does. The mayor builds housing. The state allocates funding for localities.
Fact.
I allocated more funding for housing than any governor in the history of the state of New York. All right? I did things. You have never had a job. You've never accomplished
That's
anything.
right.
There's no reason to believe you have any merit or qualification for 8.5 million lives. You don't know how to run a government. You don't know how to handle an emergency. And you literally never proposed a bill on anything that you're not talking about in your campaign. You had the worst attendance record in the assembly. And you gave yourselves the highest raise in the United States of America. You went from $110,000 to $140,000, and then you never showed up for work, and you missed 80% of the vote. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Why are you using the computer?
Because of the internet. And they still voted for his ass. They still, y'all gonna get exactly what the fuck you voted for. And y'all still voted for his ass. He only been a citizen 8 years. Don't know the Constitution. And they still voted for his ass. I couldn't believe it. He's gonna be a total failure. Okay, I'm gonna delete this. No, you know what? I'm not. Because look at what the people were saying before he was elected. This is the recap part. I couldn't believe this shit.
Now in New York, Zohran
And this Nick Shirley.
6% chance of winning according to Kalshi. Como only has a 14% chance. Right now, people are betting as much as $2,300 that Cuomo is going to win, while Zohran Mamdani has a high chance of winning right now. He's also went on Fox the other day. They asked him if he would tell Hamas to lay down their weapons. He did not say he would. He has some controversial takes. Some people say he's a communist. He says he's a social.
No, he really is a damn, I don't know why.
Socialist Democrat, and then your other options are Cuomo and Sliwa. So
Damn. Oh, I can't play. Damn, I'm on the wrong phone. Okay, well, I can't play that one. Because I went live on this other phone. Some reason why, I don't know why this don't open up. Y'all, I don't know why it don't open up.
You said the network was tripping.
Yeah, and my Instagram tripping on this phone because I got. Oh, here it go. Oh, it's opening up now. So Mandani wants to defund the police with all that crime in New York City, and this is what happened. Now, this scuffle happened at Grand Central Station. Zohran calls to dismantle the NYPD and his pro-Hamas supporters attack. So they attacking the police at Grand Central Station. I know you're not eating out of that instead of putting it in a bowl. And y'all still voted for him. Mm, mm, mm.
Welcome back to Zone Media Network. So I got some developments from the New York mayoral race as Eric Adams has dropped out of running for mayor, which I'm kind of mixed on. I know he's on some several weeks whether he would drop out or not. Yesterday, in an interview, he said that he would consider that. But it does reshuffle the race, and experts say it is the one possibility to try and stop Democratic Socialist radical Zohran Mamdani from winning in this mayoral race. You know, Eric Adams had high hopes when he first was elected. He had been a former police officer, took moderate positions.
Let me get to the part, because we already know he dropped out.
His ideology has failed always for thousands of years. It will fail again, and that's guaranteed. President DJT issuing a warning to New Yorkers this morning. I have to tell you that I imagine that the folks who are planning to vote for Mamdani look at that kind of warning, and that doesn't talk them out of voting for him. In fact, it may help persuade more folks who, are worried about what's happening in Washington. Having said that, we've talked a lot on this set before about the fact that the National Guard has emerged in all these other cities, has not come to New York. I think one of the reasons for that, and it's pure conjecture, but it may very well be because Adams was in this role and he had this sort of weird relationship or special relationship, but unusual relationship with this president and what happens. And whether New Yorkers should be voting based on that is an interesting concept unto itself. Well, let me just look at some of the numbers on it.
Well, let me tell you, Trump already said that he's stopping funding February 1st to any sanctuary city. And Mamdani already came out and said New York is $12 billion in the hole. Hey, $12 billion in the hole. He can't offer free anything. $12 billion in the hole. And he want to tax the rich who already pay 40-some% of New York state taxes and corporations that pay the other half. He gonna collapse New York.
Let me see this lighter. Maxwell. Mamdani today, because earlier this week he was handed the somewhat bad news that Eric Adams would be dropping out of the New York City mayoral election, and this is obviously something that consolidates support and gives a little all the time. Frankly, I'm actually disappointed that the Trump administration has not tried to use federal funding in a more aggressive way to withhold thus far. I understand there's courts and all that stuff. But I'd like to point out, for instance, that in the 1980s, Ronald Reagan threatened to withhold funding for infrastructure unless all of these states raised their drinking ages to 21, which I would argue is kind of a very petty and frivolous reason to do so, but that was very important back then. Even though, look at
Trump is gonna cut that. Trump is gonna cut that funding. He gonna cut it. All sanctuary cities will not get any money. Oh, this when they chased him out. This was so funny.
Holy mo! They're telling him to go home. Oh man! So apparently, Zohran Mamdani, the leader of the Democrats in New York City, is leading to probably be the next mayor. We're going to be talking about Curtis Sliwa, who is right behind him, who is the Republican nominee. All his supporters and Trump supporters gathered to kick out Zohran Mamdani from an anti-Trump rally. Get out of town. He apparently tried to go to Staten Island, and Staten Island was not having a Scott LeVito, who has performed.
Staten Island is Trump territory. Facts. He went there and they kicked his ass right on up out of there. Now, this came out. Zohran Mamdani is outright asked to denounce Sharia law. He did not. He refused to denounce Sharia law. And now when you go to New York, now they got people are upset because now they got the 5 calls of prayer on New York streets. So I'm wondering now if New York gonna be looking like the migrants in the Middle East. Okay, I'm not even gonna play that because he already mayor. So since he been mayor, 2,500 police officers have resigned.
Police officers resigned this year, a record number.
And they clapping.
One of the main reasons they gave is supposedly inhumane overtime hours due to these protests. So just to take a temperature check, how many of y'all would come out on Christmas Day and ruin their Christmas? So if y'all are down, we're going to take over Christmas and New Year's too. We're not going to let these cops, these politicians, these ignorant people, these media companies enjoy these holidays. Christmas is canceled! Over 2,500 police officers resigned this year, a record number.
This is insane, but I gotta tell you, I understand why they protest, why they pay protesters. Do you know that these protests are making 80,000 to 100,000 a year? Shit, I'd be out there protesting too.
As a Muslim from New York, Zohran, please, for the love of God, stop speaking for us. For the longest time, Zohran has loved getting in front of a camera and crying, literally crying, about how hard it was to be Muslim during 9/11. I'm Muslim, I'm from Queens, I was born and raised, and I was in New York City during that time. Yes, there was racism, yes, there was bigotry, people looked at you different. But what we learned from our aunts, from our uncles, from our parents is that the way you show them up is you work harder, you become more successful, you make sure that your character is morally superior.
Facts.
You don't go and cry and tell the world how hard it is and victimize yourself. As a Muslim, for the love of God, stop portraying us as victims who need sympathy.
because of how hard it was, so we need outpourings of love and support. No, what we do is we increase our character, we increase the depth of our love for other people. Please, for the love of God, stop speaking for Muslims from New York City, because you're overreaching. That is not how we act. That is not how any of our parents acted. We worked hard, we kept going, we met the world with love. As a Muslim from New York...
That's well said. Well said. Okay, I'm not even going to do that one.
New York City socialist mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani got legal immigrants.
That is because we know that this is effective. Just the mere act of having legal representation.
No, I'm not even going to play that. We're going to delete that. I'm going to delete that. We're going to delete that because all of this is... Oh, shit. All that is irrelevant now. Let me see. What is this? Let me see what this was.
So I have an update on the store that Zohran Mamdani would love out there.
This the grocery store.
Missouri, and it's not a good one. Let's talk about it.
This the free grocery stores that never work. This is the city-run grocery store.
New York City mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani would love because it is taxpayer funded. And not just a little bit of taxpayer money. We're talking about $29 million from Kansas City, Missouri residents have been dumped into this grocery store, which is now closing. I did a video on this a few weeks ago.
And I just want to play that part because the test of city-run grocery stores, all of them failed. They did not have the groceries that people needed. They all failed.
Now it is time for Lefties Losing It, starting with a PSA for MAGA supporters in Washington, D.C.
I'm about to delete that. I'm not playing that. Okay, here we go. People are leaving. J.P. Morgan have left New York.
800 off-duty New York City police officers waiting outside Anton's Catering Hall in Queens Village to go inside to a meeting about retirement benefits. We have significantly more retirees than active members. This session filled up so quickly, another one is planned for another 800 cops next month.
There's a level of disrespect out in the street in regards to police officers, like people yell things at you, and whereas before, people say, thank you for being here, thank you for protecting us.
This NYPD officer has been on the beat in Queens for 19 years, and he may retire next year.
I think what would help would be an increase in the manpower.
The spike in NYPD officers quitting or retiring as soon as they are eligible started in 2020. Cops leaving in record numbers following the defund the police movement and protests about police brutality in the wake of George Floyd's death.
This crowd is proof what's on the minds of New York City police officers is to exit the NYPD.
PDA President Patrick Henry says the anti-police sentiment coupled with bail reform laws makes it hard to retain veteran cops.
We're losing our veteran police officers who are out in the streets every day, risking their lives to protect New Yorkers.
He'd like to see laws changed in Albany to create better funded pensions and incentives to keep seasoned officers on the force for 5 or 10 years longer.
One of the main reasons our police officers are leaving at 20 years because there's no incentive to stay past 20 years. Financially, it doesn't make
I will not defund the police. I will work with the police because I believe the police have a critical role to play in creating public service.
public safety.
Let's go to the video tape.
Mamdani called to defund the police in 2020 and said that the NYPD was, quote, racist, anti-queer, and a major threat to public safety.
I would say is when we cut $3 billion or however much we can get cut, whether it's more, I'm not running to defund the police.
So the relationship between NYC and NYPD.
So 2,500 officers have left New York. They resigning and retiring. New York City gonna be Gotham. He already got homeless and died out there. Let me see, what is this video?
We clearly do not have the numbers as they are in this moment to win the radical legislation that we need to bring about and begin to believe that these kinds of results are sufficient. We have to continue to elect more socialists, and we have to ensure that we are unapologetic about our socialism. Now, we had an academic boycott campaign to, one of the aspects of that was to fight to stop study abroad at universities in Israel that were complicit in the occupation, many of which through the development of weapons technology for the IDF. Now, by bringing the issue of Israel and apartheid to voting, you bring it front and center, it's harder to ignore. And making sure that we move to dismantle that relationship. Those are things that you can do as a legislator, right? You can, like, for example, Governor Cuomo has an executive order barring, I think New York State from doing business. That's sympathizing with BDS. One thing I can do as a legislator is once we build up enough, build up a large enough coalition for this, we overturn that executive order. But I sincerely believe it.
He told you exactly what he was gonna do. Now, it came out that Zohran Mamdani's aunt shed fake tears, wore a hijab. She never wore a hijab nor lived in New York City. She lived in Tanzania. So he lied about his aunt.
I want to speak to the memory of my aunt. Who stopped taking the subway after September 11th because she did not feel safe in her hijab. I want to speak to the memory of my aunt.
She never lived in New York. She lived in Tanzania, and she never wore a hijab. And y'all still voted for this man. No, I said I was going to do that last. George Soros funded him. That says a lot. Anti-American George Soros, who pays for all these protesters out here against ICE, funded him.
As seniors, one skeptical dared to dream again. A new investigation has uncovered a complex network behind the political rise of Zohran Mamdani, a 34-year-old socialist politician now seen as a frontrunner for mayor of New York City. The report describes Mamdani's ascent as engineered, the result of years of coordination between activist groups, political operatives, religious networks, and major philanthropic...
Facts.
According to the investigation by Fox News Digital, more than 110 groups have worked to promote Mamdani's career, including Muslim civic groups, socialist organizations, Democratic Party affiliates, and labor unions. Two of the most prominent networks identified are Empower Change, founded by Palestinian-American activist Linda Sarsour, and Imgaj, a national Muslim American advocacy group. Both organizations have received major funding from George Soros' Open Society Foundations, which provided nearly $2.5 million to Empower and Imgaj.
2.5 million. With George Soros helped groom Barack Obama. That's the Illuminati itself. That's all I got to say about that. No, I'm gonna play this.
There are three critical reasons why Zohran Mamdani is not just unfit for office, but poses a serious threat to the very people he claims to serve. Number one, Mamdani is affiliated with numerous terror-connected organizations that aim to transform New York City into a battleground. More important than that, I am someone who co-founded my college's first Students in Justice in Palestine. As an undergrad at Bowdoin College in Maine, Mamdani co-founded a Students for Justice in Palestine chapter. This group openly supports Hamas, and its activists seek to overthrow the U.S. government. We must organize at every level. Mamdani participated in Within Our Lifetime rallies in New York City, which led to vandalism, traffic disruptions, and chaos. Within Our Lifetime also supports terror organizations and endorses violence towards the police. We will invest in disturbing your peace. Mamdani also proudly belongs to the Democratic Socialists of America, which demands dismantling the prison and policing systems, condemns U.S. imperialism, and calls for Israel's destruction. Will you give up? Will you stop coming? Following the October 7th massacre, the DSA promoted a rally endorsing Hamas's right to resist. Number two, Mamdani comes from a family deeply rooted in anti-American activism and anti-Semitism. His father, Columbia professor Mahmoud Mamdani, equates both America and Israel with Nazis and demands that Israel should be dismantled. Number three, Mamdani is a dangerous extremist himself. Are we ready to fight back? The day after the October 7th massacre in Israel, Mamdani publicly called for Israel's dismantling. In the weeks that followed, he joined anti-Israel protests and blocked traffic outside Senator Chuck Schumer's home, resulting in his arrest for disorderly conduct. We have to take every action in front of us. Mamdani built his short political career on trafficking lies about the Jewish state, the same lies that have recently led to terrorist attacks in America. Mamdani spreads the deadly exchange conspiracy theory, falsely blaming Israel for police brutality against African Americans. When I think of partnerships, I think of how the NYPD and the IDF have had a relationship for many years. A vote for Zohran Mamdani represents a free pass to the disruptive and violent.
Man, and they still voted for him.
Mamdani represents a free pass.
Mm-mm. Okay, I'm gonna delete that.
Zohran Mamdani, I have a message for you. You want a government grocery? Government grocery, they can do it this. 35 years in my life. I can do this in my country. When the groceries for the government.
Zohran, even cheese you cannot find at the government-run grocery stores in Cuba.
Oh, wow. Zohran Mamdani, I coming from the island, we can have a fish. We can buy a fish.
And before the socialists come out, yes, the embargo exempts food. And when the Castros are driving around in their Mercedes-Benz, ask them about the blockade.
Zohran Mamdani, at least one more. This is the dream for people like me, coming for the government grocery. Zohran, I hope you have a good intention, but you don't know what happened when the government control everything.
Come on.
I have a message for you.
That was the warning right there.
Did you hear what Mamdani said last week in the debate? He said that there is a mental health crisis in New York City. He's right. There is a mental health crisis in New York City, and I'll prove it right now. Over 40% of the electorate is going to vote for a person who has zero work experience, never worked a day in his life.
Right.
Is an Islamist, communist, and anti-Semite. So yes, clearly there is a mental health crisis in New York City.
Facts. Ain't never had a... Unfucking believable. You can't make this shit up. Okay, let me delete that video. Ain't no need of playing that.
Hola, 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 mi gente. Estamos aquí. We are here. Mayor of New York City. Now, of course, we got to break down what is going on in the polling. What are Mamdani?
Okay, we're gonna let that go. Damn.
But New York is about to get crazy. For me, when you ask what does it mean to be a democratic socialist, for me it means to be fighting for a society in which dignity is guaranteed to each and every member of this place. And I believe that the state should play a critical role in the distribution of that dignity and the ensuring that that dignity is actually received. This is one case where Republicans would be correct. There are taxes that I want to raise. They would like to portray this as me trying to raise taxes on someone making 50, 60, 70K, which is not the case. What we need to do is raise taxes on those who have more than enough and should share a little bit more with the rest of
They
us.
pay the most.
There's nothing hidden.
And and he was in college.
The black voters would have voted for Adams or Cuomo. Okay, let me delete that. We don't need that.
Because we covered this whole primary yesterday, but I wanted to...
Nope, we're gonna delete that. Ain't no need of playing that.
So the third holy grail of taboos in American politics, you have socialism, you have Islam, and then you have Palestine. And you are leading up to the trifecta. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Tell me, why is Palestine a part of your politics? When you grow up as someone, especially in the third world, you have a very different understanding of the Palestinian struggle. A man who is potentially...
Man, and you grew up privileged, bitch.
Running America's largest, oldest city wants to adopt third world philosophies and ideologies and apply them to the United States of America. This is who the Democrats are now calling their new darling. This is who Bill Clinton has just endorsed. I haven't seen if Obama's endorsed him yet, but Bill Clinton is, he's there. He's in the top echelon of the Democratic caucus and the establishment, along with Soros, Holly Weirdo, Obama, etc. Hakeem Nobody's Dream, Jeffries now saying they're so desperate for a W. They're so desperate because they're literally on life support. Their approval ratings are the worst they've been in history, as justifiably so. You can see their swampy, slimy hand clutching for just one breath of power to retain because they're scared to death to have a real job. Now they're endorsing him. I'm going to share with you some clips of Mamdani. If you don't know what's been going on, this will tell you everything you need to know, even though I've been talking about this for a while, because this is dangerous. This man is extremely dangerous. He is a profound
Bolshevik. You can't even say communist or socialist. He's a Bolshevik. He's more left than Bernie Sanders or AOC could ever imagine. And this guy is inches away from taking control of New York City. I'm going to share with you some clips of him doubling and tripling down on his stances today, which are going to blow your mind. And then I'm going to share with you Trump, our guy, responding in brutal, fierce, raw, authentic fashion, as we always hope, want, wish, and yearn for. You don't want to miss that. But first, check this out. Things that he said beyond saying we're having a sanctuary city for LGBTQIA plus movement, beyond saying that we're going to establish all this stuff, QIA plus affairs. It's also that we're going to provide $65 million in funding for gender.
Okay, I'm back.
Same amount of funding that the federal government will pull out for local providers for that kind of work. And in this moment especially, if we want to fight the Trump administration, we have to do so by fully funding these services, taxing the wealthiest and wealthiest corporations here. Where exactly are you going to get this $65 million from, Zohran? Where do the Democrats, where do the people voting for this think that the money's going to come from? It's just going to magically come out of thin air?
Right.
No. You, me, hardworking, law-abiding, tax-paying, hardworking citizens, it's going to come out of our...
Well, it ain't coming out of nowhere. It's a $12 billion deficit. He ain't got nothing coming out of that. Every time I get something to eat, y'all come. Y'all come. Okay, let me get to the new stuff. Because how many minutes we got? Oh, shit. I should have did. Damn, I didn't know I had this many. Here we go.
Right? This fucking mayor. Look what he has left for fucking these cars in New York City. This is disgusting. Everything's gonna be for fucking free. Everything's for free. Free busing, free healthcare, free childcare. This guy can't even fuck. This city's broke. This city is fucking broke. They can't even get a fucking plow to come here and plow the city. And then you got the pile of garbage. And listen, he's not even sending fucking garbage trucks. Look at this. This is a $20 million building, and the garbage is piled. This is disgusting. This is what you voted for. This is what you got. I mean, this is something. Cars are stuck here. They can't get out. They're all piled all the way down here. This is the most disgusting thing I gotta see. This mayor, he just sucks. He sucks. He's a liar. Everything that comes out of his mouth is a fucking lie. There's nothing for free in this city because you know why? Because this city's fucking broke. They haven't even got money. They got no money to plow. They got no money to pick up the garbage. They got no money. But yet he comes on TV the other day and he wants to, the city's in trouble. We need billions of dollars. Billions of dollars went after the free fucking bus, you lying motherfucker. I mean, I gotta be honest with you. At this fucking point.
And there you have it.
So, Zohran Mamdani is raising the New York minimum wage for delivery drivers up to $21.44, $22.13 by April this year. This is obviously getting sold off as a win for the little guy and for these, delivery drivers making some extra cash. The problem is when you do something like this in an industry like food deliveries, an industry that operates on very thin margins, you are inevitably going to negatively impact the buyer.
Fact.
Not only that, but when these companies, including some of the grocery stores or restaurants that they're going to deliver from, raise prices to compensate for that, you're going to lose business. Consumers are not going to pay $30 for a burrito. Furthermore, what are the actual apps and companies going to do to curb this as well? They're going to limit the actual hours a worker can receive. What does that mean? It means that even if you raise the wage fewer workers are going to get more money.
Yep.
As consumers get priced out, all of these local restaurants and smaller stores are going to plummet when it comes to their numbers.
Yep.
Again, good intentions do not pay the bills when your actual methodology doesn't work and doesn't make sense. By raising the floor price to $21.44 an hour, you might price out the entire industry as a whole. And Zohran, it's nothing personal. I know that you're probably not the person actually introducing these economic policy changes. So whoever your economist is, I would recommend they read some books on actual economics, like maybe even Basic Economics by Thomas Sowell, maybe Social Justice Fallacies or Economics for Dummies. That one helped me out. And then people might actually start to like you, and things might actually change for New York. So Zohran Mamdani.
That part. Like shares, I'm gonna keep those because I'm gonna play them for part 2. I'm coming back with one more video. Let me see if I can get my computer work. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment.